them Ravens like you. They like what you about. They like what you showed them. Well, they gonna give you another opportunity, and the Ravens are doing just that with wide receiver Keith Kirkwood, bringing him back for a second stint with Baltimore after they signed him last offseason. Team, keep it clean. We about to get into it. Before we do, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on, and leave a like on the video because it helps out the channel a lot so you can stay up to date with everything going down with our favorite football teams. Let's read the report that came from Jeff Zrebic a few days ago. It says, per league's personnel notice, the Ravens have re-signed veteran wide receiver Keith Kirkwood, who spent the 2024 season on their practice squad. Ravens did the same with Anthony Miller earlier this offseason. So Keith Kirkwood is back. Now, this is not going to be the game-breaking wide receiver signing that so many people want the Baltimore Ravens to do, but it is just something safe for them as they prepare. They cannot sign people to their practice squad right here, right now. They can only be signing people to their 90-man roster as they get ready for the offseason. And even though it's only February, we got a long way to go before August, my friends. We got a long way to go. But even before August, we got training camp in July. Then we got the mini camp and stuff even before then. But we got a while to go. So just buckle in. It's going to be a long ride. But we will make it there eventually with patience. But the Ravens are just preparing. That's it. They're preparing. They must have liked what they saw from him last year. And they felt like, hey, just in case we need to call you up from the practice squad to the roster on some game days, then you were ready and available for it. Keith Kirkwood still going into last season, his career numbers were 24 receptions for 294 yards, and he started playing in 2018. So he played for New Orleans, and he spent some time with Carolina as well, and then he went back to New Orleans again. But for the past 2 years, he's been with the Baltimore Ravens. Again, it's just a safe move to have him on their 90-man roster, and then eventually, 9 times out of 10, he'll probably be on their practice squad. But he will be there, is expected to be there for training camp and whatnot, battling it out for those practice squad spots at wide receiver. Now we reach my favorite part of these videos where we get to feature your questions. If you would like to take part in it, you can send an email to teamkeepitclean@gmail.com, or for the Team Keep It Clean patrons, you can send a DM directly on Patreon. First question came from my guy, Eric. Today, Ingraven, hope you and your family are doing well. I appreciate you, Eric. He said, I'm writing this a couple hours after the game against Buffalo, and all I can think about is how much blame should actually be given to Lamar Jackson. I've been a Lamar fan since he was at Louisville, and when he came to Baltimore, I was ecstatic for possibilities. To this day, I'm super glad to say he's my team's quarterback. As I'm sure you and many other fans know, as it's been mentioned a ton over the past few years, Lamar has never won a championship since Pee Wee football. I can acknowledge Lamar did not play bad in that Bills game, and fault must be given to coaching and turnovers. However, even with that being said, Lamar hasn't proven he can get it done. Being from Canada, I have only been into football for about a decade now, but for being an athlete much longer than that, I understand that being a winner goes a lot further than having nice stats and making flashy plays. It's more so something that is in your DNA. Whether looking at guys like Brady or Mahomes, their weapons or defenses weren't always as good as Lamar, especially these past 2 years, and the stats weren't always pretty, but they are simply put just winners who make winning plays when it matters. With cap implications as guys like Kyle Hamilton needing to get paid in the near future, it's only going to get harder to put together solid teams. So I fear all the underwhelming success we've had will slowly become harder to come by. Now, with that, success is always going to be tough to come by, especially in the NFL. It's 32 teams out there all vying for the same thing. Now, there are some teams that they ain't got a shot even before the season starts, but there are a lot of teams, which the Baltimore Ravens are a part of, that are very, very competitive, and they're going to be in the thick of things at the end. So with that being said, it is tough. It is very, very, very tough. It's extremely tough. Now, I see you mentioned Brady and Mahomes. Those are some great examples, but those are some big outliers when it comes to this whole thing. Because Brady and Mahomes, that's like they both won 1 million Super Bowls each, both of them. A lot of people don't even win one. A lot of people don't even make it to one. Now, I don't want Lamar Jackson Ravens to fall under those categories with their relationship together, but that's like anyway, let's just keep going. He said, obviously, I'm writing this in the heat of the moment, but it has been something in my mind these past few years, and was hoping to hear your opinions on if Lamar can actually get this done. Sorry for what seems to be a long message, but as always, me and the rest of the flock appreciate all you do for the community. And just like the Ravens Super Bowl, he said, just like the Ravens Super Bowl hopes, I'm unfortunately out. He said, I apologize for the potential grammar or spelling errors. I wrote this extremely fast. You're good, man. No apology necessary. But he said, can Lamar actually get this done? Is it something that Lamar and Jackson will be able to ever overcome? I certainly think so. Lamar has shown, in my opinion, that he can get it done. Just the biggest thing with him, though, in the biggest moments, the biggest games, you just got to do a better job of playing a clean game. And everything ain't going to be perfect. That's cool. Everything ain't going to be all spick and span and whatnot. Not every single game going to be like, well, you have absolutely 0 turnovers. But it's important to make the most of those moments. The turnover with Bateman, the interception, looked like a big-time miscommunication because it didn't look like a bad throw. It just looked like a miscommunication. Lamar thought Bateman was going to keep going. Bateman, he cut, and boom, interception. Easy interception for the Bills, too. The fumble. And it's crazy about the fumble. It sucked. It's the fumble. Von Miller returned it. Almost took it to the house, but thank goodness for Justice Hill. Shout out to Justice Hill on that play. But Lamar, that's a play that he's made so many times to where he'll pick up the ball, scramble around, make somebody miss, make something happen, and then boom. It's a touchdown or a big play. It's like, oh, yeah, great. But on that play, it ain't work out. And one of my guys was telling me, he was like, hey, the difference between... He said, what's the difference between that play that he made against the Bengals and where he did that same thing and it was a touchdown to Isaiah Likely versus the play against the Bills where he fumbled the snap and tried to get up and spin around. And he said the difference was the playoffs. It's a playoff game. So teams are treating it differently. The outcome was obviously much different. But you can't have stuff like that in playoff time. But the reason I say Lamar showed me that he can still get it done is because he bounced back from all that. He bounced back from all of that. Didn't put the blame on nobody but himself. Didn't say, oh, that was his fault. No, he bounced back from all that. Came back in the second half and was doing his thing. And put them in position to tie that game up. So it's unfortunate the way that things have been going for a lot of different reasons. But Ravens, they got no choice but to get it done. For real, man. I know the question is, will they ever get it done? Can they ever get it done? And I know after that Bills game, it was like, oh, here we go again. We got this nice team. We set up nice. We like, what is happening? Why we can't get over that hump? But I do think they will eventually. When will that be? Hey, hopefully it'll be in 2026. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how things shake out this offseason. We'll see what type of team that they build. I'm not sure they're going to build a good team. I'm sure they're going to have a nice roster and whatnot. The coaching staff going to be in place and whatnot. But it's just important that the Ravens, the execution got to be better, man. It has to be much better, especially come playoff time. Next question came from my guy Lucas. He said, Ingravenvids sending this at the end of the game, still watching the stream, and I'm mad at all these people blaming Mark, saying that he sucks and that we should get rid of him when he was cooking to end the regular season. I understand that some people are just mad in the moment, but we had so many other opportunities to win outside of that play. But we turned the ball over, or we would allow a big play or have a stupid penalty if it was or wasn't our fault, but we still kept it close, even without Zay Flowers. And crazy to think, if we kick on the 2-point conversion attempts, we could have tied it. Looking back now, but they were the right decision in the moment. But now it's time for the offseason. So to see who we keep, who we get, and who we develop. The road to San Francisco starts now. Yeah, it's unfortunate that it started a lot earlier for the Ravens than we anticipated. Now, what's interesting about what you said, because he sent this right after the game, but they're still, even way after the game, there's still plenty of people saying to get rid of, to trade, or to release Mark Andrews. Some people saying for cap space. Some people saying because they don't want him on the team anymore. Some people saying because in the playoffs he don't show up. And people saying for a lot of different reasons. A lot of people would still like the Ravens to get rid of Mark Andrews. And it's such a tough question, man. It's a really tough predicament for the Baltimore Ravens to be in because Mark Andrews, he's really good. He's really good. Regular season Mark Andrews is great. Great tight end. One of the best tight ends in the game. Playmaking tight end. We know what he does and has done and has been doing for the Baltimore Ravens. And Lamar Jackson, like Mark Andrews be coming through big time. But in the playoffs, it's been a different story. It's been a different vibe. It's been just a different atmosphere with Mark Andrews, and in a bad way. So that question still stands for a lot of people. What should the Baltimore Ravens do with Mark Andrews? And a lot of people's their same sentiments, even right after the game until this point, a lot of people think the Ravens should get rid of him. For me, I'm like, man, I don't know. I want the Ravens to be keeping everybody. I like Mark Andrews. I love Isaiah Likely. Love Mark Andrews. Love both of them. They're a nice duo, man. It's nice to have them. If the Baltimore Ravens kept Mark Andrews, would they make Isaiah Likely the focal point? I don't think they would do that. I don't think they would do that. I don't think they would put Mark Andrews, like, not necessarily on a back burner, but on the back burner. I don't think they would do that. Lamar Jackson has excellent chemistry with both of them, so he can get it done with either one of them. But I just think that whatever decision that you make, in my opinion, whatever the decision the Ravens make with the tight ends this year, it's going to have long-term implications. Because both of them are on the last year. All three of them are on the last year of their contract. Charlie Cole is not in the equation for tight end 1 or 2 right now, though. So Isaiah Likely, if you decide, hey, Isaiah Likely, you're going to be the guy, then Mark Andrews is going to be out. If you decide, hey, Mark Andrews, we sticking with you, then Isaiah Likely, he's going to be out. So whatever the Ravens do, like, they got to think about the long-term future, which I'm sure they will. Next question came from my guy Griffins. He said, hey, Raven, I want to shout you out and all the other Ravens channels because through thick and thin, you guys still put so much time into covering this team, yet you guys are so composed and calm about how things turn out. Ooh, but these games, they don't worry. They still hurt us. They still hurt for sure. Because you was still a fan at the beginning and end of the day. Still a fan of the team. Still hope that they obviously have the ultimate success. But I think when you talk about it so much, you talk about it every single day. It puts a lot of things into perspective. And you just look at things a bit differently. But you're still a fan of the team. Still want them to just win everything. But games like the Bills, that hurt bad. It really did. It hurt bad. But anyway, he said, we need to win the number 1 seed again. I can see us literally going 15-2 next season based off of the schedule. Sign Jair Alexander, trade for Sauce Gardner, or a good, reliable wide receiver. Oh, and he said, keep Mark Andrews and let him do his thing. But for my sake, please make Isaiah Likely a factor on this team. See how it's tricky? It's tricky. He said he probably has some of the best hands our franchise has ever had. Ooh, we will be back where we left off this year, and something about this feels right. No, I disagree with that. Nothing about them losing in the playoffs ever feels right. Ever. Because it's not. It's not. Nothing about losing in the playoffs is right. Because you lost. Ain't no moral victories, especially in playoffs. No. That was a great game. You guys played your heart. No, you lost. You were done. Your season ended before you wanted it to. But anyway, he said, in a way, last year there was so much pressure for this team to win a Super Bowl, but now everyone has given up on our chances, and our team, including a lot of fake fans, he said this is the best position to be. No, it's not. It's not. Losing is not the best position to be in. I get what you're saying, but no. Losing is never the best position to be in. Anyway, he said, Ravens are the best team, but we are like friendly giants. It's time to crush everyone in our path. Who knows? Go undefeated. Oh, no. Nope. I ain't saying that. Nope. Not the Ravens. No. He said that would ease all the pain from 7 years gone sour. Thank you. Not necessarily, but it would make it a lot better. Ravens finally get that Super Bowl. Hopefully they get it. And we hope that it'll be next year. It will definitely be nice. Will it ease all the pain? It'll certainly help it out a lot, and it'll be like, oh, finally, after everything, after 2019, after 2023, after 2020, even 2020, it will be nice. Will they make it happen? We'll see. Next question came from my guy Flirt Nowitzki, and wow, this is a much shorter question than you have ever sent, man. But this was right after the game. He said, "What's good, bro? It's your boy Flirt Nowitzki back again per usual. Hope all is well with you and yours." Not even a question, but a comment. Same year, same us. We beat ourselves. We lost to a fullback, bro. A fullback. He threw 16 drags, 16. Now, the pass interference is what lost us the game. Mark fumbling and dropping passes didn't help, but the garbage pass interference is what did it. That was significant. That was a terrible call. It was a big call, though. It was huge because that was a 3rd and long. The most that they would have got out of that drive was a field goal, but they ended up getting a touchdown. That changed everything. Anyway, he said, and you know what? In the live stream, you called it. You said, now, why would they take Brandon from outside corner and put White out there? That would be stupid. Boom. He said, but yep, Henry, 16 carries, I believe. It's over, bro. I can't believe I'm saying this, but if Harv stays, Lamar will never win a ring. It's just that simple. And it sucks to see Andrews go out the way he did on a contract year. Well, now contract year is this year now. He said, just like Mark, I can't feel my hands. Andrews is, I'm out. But seriously, man, what a way to go out. We'll see if that was his way to go out. Because, again, he's still under contract for another year. So we'll see what they do with Mark Andrews. But I know a lot of people have said that same thing before. As long as John Harbaugh is here, Lamar Jackson will never win a championship. I disagree. But at the same time, it's tricky. Because I don't think John Harbaugh is the reason that the Ravens lost this game. I really don't. I don't think John Harbaugh is the reason that they lost. This was way more on execution than it was on coaching, in my opinion. So I can't blame this. Oh yeah, John Harbaugh cost. No, John Harbaugh ain't cost them that playoff game. That was on the players. Could John Harbaugh still have made some better decisions? Yeah, especially when it came to Derrick Henry in the first half. In the second half, they would let him do it, but in the first half, it's like they gave up on him. But I can't put it on him. So to say that Lamar will never win another ring under John, will never win a ring under John Harbaugh, I can't say that. I get why you would say that, but I can't say that.